Welcome back everyone to today's video, and we're going to be looking at the weather for the next couple of weeks. It looks like it's going to be a warmer and drier week on the way, but let's see what happens once we extend a little bit further out from that and see what has got coming for the end of September into October. Really is going to be the main focus over the next couple of weeks. Just before we start, I want to say make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. It helps me a lot. So we're going to get straight into this now. I'm not going to waste any more time. So let's do this. So this is the GFS 12Z run. 6Z has not updated yet. 18Z hasn't updated yet. But we're going to get into this now. So this is the current situation over the country. So if you didn't already know, high pressure is the reds, yellows and oranges, and low pressure is the greens and blues, and sometimes purples when it gets very, very stormy. At the minute, we've got high pressure sitting over and to the southwest of the country. Low pressure is trying to come in and trying to bring a little bit of a weather front and maybe a little bit of rain into tomorrow. But mostly we are quite mild and dry, and some sunny spells, especially for the south, and it's going to be quite pleasant tomorrow. As we run through, this high pressure starts strengthening over the country, and we'll start seeing a lot of sunshine as it stables over the country, and we get a very nice easterly wind coming in. But will not be cold because we're not in the winter yet, and there will not be any cold air over Scandinavia really yet. Now, as we go towards day 10, we start to try and pull this high pressure up towards Greenland. Now, this is called retrogression. So this usually happens in the winter, and when it happens, it can bring a colder spell of weather, bringing northerly winds or easterly winds. But as we're still in the autumn, it's probably not going to do much, really. So it pulls the high pressure out there. Let's see what happens next. We start to bring in a cooler northerly wind just there, so a little bit cooler maybe for next week, after this week, not this week coming, as you can see. And we finish off looking a bit more unsettled with the Atlantic trying to push back through and bring us more wet and windy weather. And you can see the polar vortex starting to get going up there, and we bring in the westerly, so quite mild but a bit cooler and wetter by the end of the run. Okay, this is the GEM. Let's see if this is saying anything different. So once again, we have the high pressure sitting to the south and the southwest of the country. Now, as we move through this, once again, we take the high pressure over the country and it starts to try and retrogress, but it just doesn't really do it with the GEM. By the end of the run, the Atlantic is starting to pull back through, and we'll probably be going more unsettled there with these this low pressure just here is going to be pushing in and making us more unsettled once again. So that is probably going to turn more unsettled by the end of that one. Now for the ECMWF, let's have a look what this is going to be looking like. Once again, we're starting off with them milder southerly, southwesterly winds. As we move through this one, we are taking high pressure up over the country. That looks very nice and pleasant there. Look at that. Really, really nice high pressure. That'll be very dry, maybe a little chilly at night time, with the strong at times easterly winds. But high pressure, clear skies and very dry. Looks quite nice by Wednesday. Into the weekend once again, maybe a little bit of low pressure just developing to the south just here. Maybe bringing a couple of showers to southwestern, southern and southeastern areas. And by the end, we do not actually try and retrogress the high pressure. We actually take high pressure up here and retreats back down here, up towards Scandinavia, and back down towards the Mediterranean, the South Atlantic, and the polar vortex is strengthening up in the Atlantic just there, with that low pressure trying to bring us more unsettled weather, as you can see. Okay, and finally for the charts, the UK MOEU. So start off the same once again. As we run through, we look like that. Not really much going on. By the time we get through to Tuesday, we're warmer, drier, and more settled. Up to the end, that low pressure maybe hints of coming in at the bottom here, but the high pressure may be trying to retrogress up to Greenland, but not really much signs of anything out of the ordinary off the UKMO. Okay, here are the latest GFS on samples for London. We are currently above average here. This is the 30-year average line, this red line just here. And we are currently quite far above that at the minute, but just by a bit, not by much. We're dipping back down for a little period before temperatures rise above average for quite a while. There may be a cooling trend by the end of September, and even some models getting down to the -4, -5 mark, which is very, very, very unlikely for this time of year. So don't really take too notice of them. Precipitation looking quite dry until around here, where then it gets a bit more unsettled, and there's even one going 30mm of rain just there. That's quite an extreme one. But we are looking a little bit more maybe unsettled in this portion here, but it's still not really that wet and very dry, especially over the next couple of weeks for London anyway. Scotland, a couple of showers tomorrow, and tomorrow, and about that, so not really that much happening. Okay, and finally we're finishing off with the ECMWF weekly anomalies for 500 HPA heights. So the Monday 16th to the 23rd of September, high pressure over the top of the country and over Scandinavia, maybe trying to retrogress up towards Greenland, low pressure to the south, and we're bringing the winds in from the easterly direction. And we'll go one more week out just to end it off. We've got high pressure over Greenland, low pressure in the Atlantic. We'll probably be bringing in a westerly wind, but we're on the periphery. We're trying to bring in northerly winds there, so it's quite a close one. But the Atlantic will probably just win out. Okay, thanks everyone for watching today's video. We might have another one today, I'm not sure. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.